Well, howdy y'all, it's your buddy the Texan Detective. And I decided to stop at one more park on my way home. This is one of my favorite parks. I've hunted here a bunch of times. It's where I found my first ever gold ring. It's Jenkins Park in Baytown, Texas. Everybody detects it, so I'm not even going to try to hide it. But I'm going to do some grass detecting with the Nokta triple score. And people keep asking me about my settings. So as I detect, I'm going to explain what my settings are. So this is what y'all keep asking for. This will be my settings video for the Nokta triple score. I'm not going to go through the buttons and show you how to do it. There's a manual for that. I'm just going to explain what settings I use, and I'm going to explain why. Well, all right, y'all, let's pack up our metal detectors in our mind. Let's go see what the heck we can find. All right, y'all, I'm kind of short on time, so let's get the show on the road. Yes, sir. Well, all right, y'all, here we go. We got the Nokta triple score. I've got it in park mode. And I think I've already got a penny. When I'm using the triple score, I like to use, right there in the plug, I like to use 60 tones. You hear a lot more information when you're using 60 tones, and that's why I like it. Because sometimes, oh, there it is. And there is the penny. When you're using 60 tones, you hear the little different chirps and stuff, and sometimes you get a good signal, and if you were in 6 tones you'd think it's a good signal, but in 60 tones you hear a little bit of a chirp, a little bit of a break, and it just gives more information. See, I think that's junk because it's bouncing up. And see, I hear a 39 right there. I think it's going to be another coin. It's not very deep, but I've been detecting all day, so I'm just going to dig a little plug like this. Whoop. Dang it. Okay, I didn't quite get it. Oh, it's at the bottom of my plug here. Let's see if I can just get it out like that. Come on, baby, you're right on it. Where's that? No. Now these are the bane of my existence. The twist tops, you can't get away from them. They sound too good. They're aluminum, so they're not iron. So they just give off too good of a signal. But now, right now I'm using recovery speed 5. And I'm going to show y'all something here in a second. Okay, that's a tight signal. It's probably cancel out to 23. Now, y'all hear that? Now watch this. Y'all hear the difference? Makes it sound huge, don't it? That was on 1. This is on 3. Now, that's 5. The higher the recovery speed, the more you can actually tell the size of your target. I'm going to start. Nah. Uh-oh. I had a... Nope. Now, I have my iron filter on 4. So that's 2 targets there. That's another... Uh-oh. That's another good thing about the high recovery speed is you will get all those targets. They're 230s. I'm pretty sure it's cancel out, but we're going to go for it for fun here. Yep. This is probably where the lawnmower ran over a can. Oh, maybe not. It is a ring pull. But still, I knew it was aluminum. There's another one. Yeah, I think that one's a little deeper. Now with the recovery speed high, another thing that's good for is when you're on the tot lot, see? Yeah. It's a 36. Sounds a little better. But with the recovery speed high, you can also get closer to the equipment on the tot lot than you can otherwise. It's our good old buddy, the pull tab. I don't know why that one rang up so high. They're normally around 28. That was ringing up 35. Now I do not use any of the other filters. Goodness gracious. Right now I have my sensitivity on 9. That should be a shallow penny, unless it's another twist top. Yeah, it sounds like it's probably a twist top. It sounds like a little big for a penny. Could be wrong. Nope, it's the twist top. when you're in can slaw land and you get a 41, you got to investigate. That could have been a pretty silver ring. Something in there is bouncing up to a 46, but got a 40 signal right there. See, if you ran a low recovery speed in this type of environment, it would just sound like a big slur. It would just sound horrible. And you'd be like, man, this machine's so noisy, I can't. 43 in the plug. I think it's gonna be a penny. There she blows. It is a coin, old copper memorial. I don't think I'm gonna get the date off that one. Not without some tender love and care, and I don't really care. So. There we go, nice and now there's a 39 right there. Let's see if I can pull out another coin. A lot of people would hear this mess here and they wouldn't even stop to detect. .38 in the plug, probably the Zinc and Lincoln. Okay, should be right there. Is that it? There it is. I knew I saw it fall out. Could it be something fun like a Wheatie? Nah, it's a memorial. But with that high recovery speed in 60 tones, I was able to find that penny amongst all this can slaw and pull tabs and everything else. Y'all hear that? Now watch this. Let me drop the recovery speed down. Doesn't that sound horrible? Now back up to 5. And another coin right here. I don't think I need to dig it that deep. Look at that. Look at that. It was right in the bottom of the plug, fell right out. Yeah, but that's the only way to dig the trash out of the treasure out of the trash, is to bump up your recovery speed. Nah. Now, I think one thing a lot of people do in their settings that messes them up is they try to bump their sensitivity up too high. Should be a shallow penny. Your sensitivity, if your detector's popping and cracking and hissing at you, it's probably set too high. There we go. Another coin. Like right now, my detector's popping just a little bit. I'm gonna bump it down to 8. Because any of that interference, I know some people like to run their machines hot and they think they're doing the best they can, and then they can't figure out why the next guy can get deeper than they can. And they're like, well, I got it turned all the way up, why ain't I getting deeper? Because if you're faucet on the ground, and let's say you're faucet on the minerals in the ground, and there's a target underneath that area, you have a high chance of missing it if your detector's popping and fauceting. You want your detector, your sensitivity set where your detector's comfortably running. Because ooh, dang it. Throw it back. It's one of those real thick style pull tabs. Makes me wonder if that was actually the signal I was going after. It was the 30s though. I just thought it was going to be a, what do you call it, a Zinc and Lincoln. Okay, that's why there's something else there too, but we're going to leave that alone. See, I'm in just, oh. Okay, got a 41 right there. See, what I'm listening for when I'm going through all this trash is I'm listening for something different. Because the can slaw and the pull tabs, they all ring up, 28 to 32 right in there, so they all kind of sound the same. So if I get a high signal, it stands out, or if I get a low signal, it stands out. There we go. Another old copper penny. I'll take it. Now I found 9 and 10-inch coins in the dirt with the triple score at 7 sensitivity and 5 recovery speed. So I don't really believe you're giving up a whole lot of depth when you back off your when you back off your sensitivity. I know a lot of people, nah, I'm gonna let that one go. If I'd have been on the tot lot, I'd been all over that one. Wish I'd come across a nickel signal. Huh. Nah. See, the thing is, though, when they run over a can, it spreads those aluminums. They spread those aluminum pieces everywhere. Well, it's a 36, but it sounded kind of nice, and it's really shallow, so. Okay, let's see what we got here. Oh, just a pull tab. It's one of those square ones where it doesn't have that hole right there. Those always ring up a little higher. Had to go for it though, because those signals sound good. Uh-oh, I think it's about time for me to charge my pinpointer. I think I saw the little bar say red. Huh, that's a nail. Nah, it's probably another one of the pull tabs. Yeah, I don't use the ground stabilization or ST. I don't use any of that. I want to hear everything. I can decide whether or not I want to dig it or not. That's what I don't understand. A lot of people want these coin programs. And every coin program I've seen is garbage. Absolute garbage. You know how much silver jewelry you would miss if you use those coin programs? I mean, I seem to find coins all right. I mean, look, I'm detecting an absolute trash pit here, and I've dug way more coins than I've dug trash. Don't worry about setting up your detector to find something, because it's a metal detector. It'll find metal. Settings don't make you find more stuff. Changing the settings only makes you find less stuff. I bet that's a foil seal. And that's a pull tab. That's an iffy one. If I had more energy, I might dig that one. But I'm pretty sure it's a ring pull or a piece of can slaw. No Y'all want some big iron? Because that's iron, even though it's a 55, 56. Yeah, could you hear that pop? That's why I have my iron filter set on 4. I'm not even sure I can get this out because it sounds big. But should be right around there. Probably a big iron bottle cap. And there she blows. Iron bottle cap. Piece of glass too. Now, I told y'all it was iron. I told you it was a bottle cap before I dug it up. So what do I need a bottle cap filter for? If I didn't want to dig a bottle cap, I just would not dug it. I see a lot of holes over here. I hope these weren't metal detectors. Look at that. Dang it. And there's a signal at the bottom of that hole. Now I'm going to leave the 31 alone. Now I like M1. You know what? Nah, it's too big. I like M1 because I think that's the best all around. That's probably a pull tab. But pull tabs are just in line with too many good targets. I like M1 because it's the best all around program. What do you call it? Multi-frequency, I believe. A lot of people use M2. Then they complain about their machines being noisy and whatnot, which M2 will be noisy. M2 is much worse with EMI than M1 or 3. But M2 is weighted towards lower conductive targets. So if you're looking for gold, M2 is a good multi-frequency. I think M3 is the best if the situations are damp. Now I'm gonna let that go. Now I know a lot of people like to use signal frequencies, but I don't. If I wanted to use a signal frequency, I'd bust out the old Simplex or the MX Sport. I feel that multi-frequency is like having 4 detectors running over a target at once. I'm only going for it because it's so shallow. There it is. What is it? Oh my gosh! It is a pull tab. Kind of figured a 27 one's going to be a pull tab, but it just sounded so pretty. It could have been a ring. So you don't need to notch things out or discriminate them out and all that stuff. You just need to learn your tones and learn your numbers, and you'll know which ones you want to dig or not. Now it's always fun to dig those ones that you're not sure about, because is that it? Yep, another twist top. I think that's an old Coca-Cola one there. You too much, a little too much all over the place. Your best discrimination comes from your brain, not your metal detector. Because you've heard a million chirps and I haven't dug them all, have I? Sometimes if you're unsure, do a quarter turn on the signal. Because sometimes hitting it from a different angle will make it sound different. Why does that penny look so weird? Guess it's had a bunch of water damage in its day, but I'll take it. So the coin program that you really want is the one in your brain. Because once you get used to your detector, you know what the coins sound like. I don't know what that is. It almost sounds like it could be a penny. Also sounds like it could be a twist top. But it could be something fun. Yeah, I think it's going to be junk because when I flipped the plug over, it kind of died on me. Well, oh, that's why it died on me. I didn't quite get it. It was under the plug. It didn't quite come out. There she goes. It is a penny. I think there's something else in there. Oh, maybe not. Those Zinkins, you can't really depend on their signal because they go a little wonky. Got a 40 right there. That should be another coin. Uh-oh. Maybe not. Sounds like it's going to be deeper than what I want. But we're going to dig it for fun. Or maybe I was just a little off. So yeah, my settings are pretty simple. Keep everything pretty wide open. I don't run my sensitivity too hot. I keep a fast recovery speed, 60 tones. Most of the time M1, sometimes M3. Because I want to hear everything. I use the discrimination pattern G, so that just notches out 1, 2. So I'm still getting 3, so I'm still hitting, y'all see all the bobby pins I dig up. I ain't gonna worry about that. That sounds like a shallow coin. I think people mess themselves up with settings more than they help. There's another coin. This one's kind of green. Remember, changing the settings will not make you find more. It will not. It makes you find less. If you adjust the iron filter, the ground stabilization, the stability, any of that stuff you adjust, you are lessening what your detector is going to pick up on. It's a 38 there. I'm not sure. Probably a Zinc and Lincoln or a twist top. Yep, another Zinc and Lincoln. So when someone says they have a coin program, or they have a silver program, or they have a gold program, that program is not set up to find those items anymore. It's just set up not to find the other items. So if you have a coin program, you're going to miss things that are not in your coin range. We know pennies are around 40 to 44, depending on if they're zinc or copper and where they're at, and dimes are 44 to 46, you know, and quarters are 50, 51, maybe 49 sometimes. So you could go and notch out all the stuff in between. You know how many beautiful silver pendants I found that were a 36, 38? Yeah, I was afraid of that. Twist top. I found, I got an update for y'all. If y'all watched the video where I was in the rain detecting a tot lot that had tarp over it, and I kind of got trapped for a minute, and I found a gold earring under the slide. Well, I've had that earring sitting in my windowsill because I have like a I'm gonna let that go. I have they call that a window shelf, and I set it up there. I was gonna look at it and never did, and it had a little hole, not really a hole, but like a little punch, and I just thought that's what held the post into the earring. Well, I was doing something the other day and I picked it up, and what I thought was solder in that little post hole was dirt, and it had dried up and it was coming out. So I had another little silver earring next to it, and I used the post for that one to clean the hole out. And when I cleaned the hole out, I noticed there was some writing in there. It's got like a symbol around it, and in the middle it said 14, what looked like it said 14K. And I was like, no way. So this is 2:30 in the morning. I run out to the man cave where I got my might be a coin right there, where I got my acid kit. And first I tested it for 10K, and that just stayed and stayed and stayed and stayed. Ooh, that sounds kind of nice out of the plug. And then there we go, another coin-a-rooney. I keep messing around these trees, I'm gonna find a Wheatie. But so I put the 14K on it, and that one stayed. And I got a different eyepiece where I can see a little better, and it does say 14K. So I have found gold so far this year. Woohoo! And if I'm not mistaken, that's the second piece of gold I found with one of these Nokta detectors that rang up at 11. So I found a gold cross with Nokta Legend, and I found that gold with the Nokta triple score. So most people don't dig up 11s. Matter of fact, if I went by 11 right now, I probably wouldn't dig it, because most of the time it's a full seal or something. But on the top lot, oh gosh, what is that? It's a big old piece of can slaw, Travis. Can't you see it? Huh. I don't think I'm going to be able to get in there. Oh, there we go. You keep messing around, texting, you're going to run into a copperhead. That would have been just the place for him to be chilling. Now I'm paranoid. That would have been the place for him to be chilling under all that straw, wouldn't it have? Oh, just one of these big square pull tabs.
Looking for something?
Always.
What is this? Is this a hobby?
Yeah.
That's awesome. You record it and everything?
Yes, sir.
You have like a YouTube channel?
Yes, sir.
What is it?
The Texan Detector.
Texan Detector.
Yeah, like the football team, the Texan Detector.
Are you just here at Baytown or are you all over?
All over. I was in Pasadena earlier.
And what do you just try to hit, like
I just,
move frequently?
yeah, I just kind of go to different parks and beaches and stuff.
That's awesome.
Found a silver ring today.
Man, that's awesome. What's the best thing you ever found?
Peace of mind. No, I mean, it depends on what you consider the best thing. You know, money-wise, probably, I found a men's gold bracelet at I think it was Surfside Beach. It was like an ounce of gold. Yeah.
Texan Detector.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. That's awesome.
All right, my man. You have a good day, buddy. Sounds like a machine gun going off. See, that's something you have to figure out for yourself, is what sounds and numbers are you going to discriminate out when you're out detecting. And every place is different. Like if I got that signal on a tot lot or the beach, I'd be all over it, because the do y'all hear that? See, this is gonna be junk, y'all. I don't know if I can dig it or not. I just want to show y'all, because it had a good number, and if you're just digging by numbers, see, number's gone. If you're just digging by numbers, you'd have loved that signal. But if you're digging by tone, you know it's going to be junk. Now, if you were relic hunting, that might be a great signal. Wait a minute. Why is that a yellow penny? What in the world? It's like they coated it with something. That's definitely not what I expected. Hold on. That's why sometimes you just got to dig in and find out. That's why, because there's still something iron down there. I'm gonna go for it because it does go down to 26. It may be the nickel Rooney, but I don't think so. I think it's the Pull Tabus Maximus. But interesting. Okay, I almost got it. Where is she at? Oh, there it goes. What is that? Oh, you know what that is? I know what that is. That's 2/3 of a zinc penny. That's what that is. And some days you may have a different philosophy than other days. You know, you may want to just coin, you know, shoot kind of like I'm doing right now and only dig up coin numbers and sounds. Or you might decide you want a gold ring and you just dig up all the low numbers. But no matter which way I'm going, I do not want to limit what I'm going to hear. You know what? I want to do something. I want to go behind this little bench over here. Dang, my battery's almost dead already. Probably get another signal or two and call this a hunt. You see how that penny signal just stops you in your tracks? You're like, hey, that sounds something like something nice. And the good thing about that signal is a lot of my 4142s end up being little silver rings. Or little silver pendants. Here come more people. There she goes. Just a memorial. So really, I think more than trying to copy somebody else's settings, it's a lot better just to learn your detector. Because there is no way to change anything on this detector to make it hit more silver or hit more gold or hit more. It just don't work like that. It's a 30. I know it's junk, but it could be something cool, so we're going to go for it. Probably a ring pull. Well, I was close. Pull tab. Monster pull tab. I could use a monster right now. Y'all remind me when I get home, I got to put this pin pointer on the charger. Man, I do have another one in the truck, so it wouldn't be the end of the world if I didn't. Oh yeah, I forgot my battery's dying. It's always nice to hit next to these walking trails because people jog on them and they lose their coins and jewelry. With a 22, that could be interesting. That could be a little ring. Probably not, but nope. The mouth part of the pull tab. Well, yeah, I think I'm just about done with this little video. Oh, now let me tell you a bad thing though about if you do discriminate stuff out. If you use, let's say you use the bottle cap projection or the iron filter and you max it out, that I want you to imagine that that's just putting like a little tiny umbrella over the target you don't want to find. So now, what is that? Oh, dang it. That tricked me for a minute. It was a ring pull. I thought it was going to be a ring. Now, okay, as a matter of fact, I'm going to use that. Where'd he go? Okay, so this is the item you're trying to discriminate out. And the more you filter it, the bigger that umbrella gets. Now, to filter it out all the way, that umbrella has to be, you know, quite a bit larger. Well, quite a bit larger than what the target is. Now, if there's another target beside it, not only will you filter out the unwanted target, you will filter out the wanted target nearby. Now, if my parks weren't so trashy, I would love to run my iron filter on 0, and I did for a while, but sometimes you just end up chasing too much rust. So, and that's not enjoyable. That's another reason why I use the discrimination pattern G instead of all metal. For one, it does help with a little bit of that garbage, that little rust that's really not nothing. It's not even findable. It just breaks up when you dig the dirt. But it also helps, there's a thing they call wraparound, where if you find junk iron, sometimes it will come up as a high signal, kind of like that bottle cap did earlier. But because I had iron filter on 4, it's a 36, but it sounds a little different. Because I had the iron filter on 4 and the discrimination pattern on G, it cut out. And that's how I knew it was junk before I dug it. Nope. Squashed, what do you call it? A twist top. We're down to 17%. I think We're going to go this way because I don't think there'll be as much trash this way. Maybe get another coin, then we'll hit the highway. Nope. Nope. That's too big. Yeah, I think I'm about done, y'all. Come on, let's just find a random quarter out in this middle of the field and we'll call it a day. Look at that. Somebody has dug this hole. And it sounds horrible on my detector. I would never dig that. Well, I might, but still. Someone else dug it, thought it was a high tone, probably thought it was a silver tone, matter of fact. But that's because it's big iron and it has that wraparound. So even though it was a high tone on my detector, because the way I got it set up, it still puts that little thump in the background. Huh. That sounds interesting. Probably a pull tab. Where'd it go? Just a piece of can slaw. That's why it sounded so good. It wasn't even buried. It was just under a gumball. I tell you, if you detect without knee pads and you've been down on one of them gumballs, it'll let you know it. That sounds kind of nice. Let's end on this silver ring. Well, it is not a silver ring, but it is a penny. Well, all right, y'all. That's it for today. I hope hope I helped y'all a little bit on settings on the Nokta triple score. I mean, it's really easy, and just keep it simple, and you'll do just fine. Just learn your tones. All right, y'all. Until next time, happy hunting and stay dirty, my friends.